chemistry reviews. So coordination chemistry review is this will accept only the reviews. So we can just go and type that, let us say coordination chemistry journals. So look at that about the journal you read. The journal offers a rapid publication of review articles on topics. So they will publish only the review articles. You see here. And if you look at that, the most of the review articles, review journals or journals which are publishing exclusive reviews, they have a huge site score or impact factor, because most of the people, we will take reviews and we will put it in the introduction. So citations are higher. So this is very, very important for an institution as well as an individual. How individual gains popularity? Because of the research metrics. And institution, definitely NIRF looks for the total number of citations from the faculty. Okay, so you really need to work on so that the institution gets the benefit out of it. When individual grows, institution grows. Okay, so really you need to go ahead and see if you are entirely new to this particular Scopus. I'll share the link so that you can just go and work it out in the coming days. Okay, now we'll move on to that. And there are other reviews are there and so on. Now, my sincere suggestion to whoever present here, we should always read papers from the legitimate journals, because there are a lot of fake journals are available. So my sincere suggestion is, don't go and pick anything from fake journal. So always my advice to people is pick the standard publisher. You can go for Sage Publishers, Elsevier, Springer, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Oxford Press, IEEE, and so on. Why I have listed only 7, or you can use, you can add ACS and RSC, that is exclusive for chemistry domain and so on. My point here is, when you have large number of publishers, they are claiming their journals are their Scopus indexed, but you need to check. But when you look at the premier publisher, the data that they provide are authentic, and so that we can just bank upon them. So you really need to work on with these publishers. Now the point is, the first thing that appears to our mind, okay sir, you are asking me to write a review, I am happy to write a review. Here is, always we will be looking at that, how many pages, how many articles, how many references, and so on. So this is like, this is important one for us. Then which type to choose? Which type to choose? What should be written first? Shall I start writing straight away? You really need to look at that. And then which journal should I target? I said that when you have the journals list, you should be very careful with that. Now, do we have any role model? Because we have been trained to take anything from the role models, right? Whenever we see that, okay, do you have any template? If you are in IQAC and familiarized with that, we call that as a template. As a template is given, put everything in the template. Oh, this is a format. And do you have a model? Do you have an example? Okay, how they have just filled the form and so on. So we really need to have a model. Okay. So when you think about the research work, we really need to have the lot of literature reading. Once the reading is done, we will be thinking about the research question, and that can come from anywhere. Once that is done, we will be segmented our plan, this step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. Then we'll be taking notes that how we need to proceed further. And once that is done, then we will go for the data collection. Okay, here we will say the literature collection and so on. And then we'll be looking at the data with magnifying glasses to gain insights into that. And more importantly, we need to have a strict deadline. At the same time, we need to know how do we need to start and how do we need to finish it. And that is important. Always we should be ready with plan A, plan B, but prevailing conditions demand us to go for plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. And a lot of sticky notes with small information which will add wealth to your paper. And the methodology that you adapt should be very careful with that. You cannot go for huge hook for a small fish or a small hook for the large fish. And this is very, very important in research as well as in drive. Nobody will help us. We need to move from here on with our own legs. Now, it's up to you. How do you see the strategy that I'm going to discuss here from here on? Whether it is like, no, this will not be working, or this beautiful idea that can be extrapolated or extended to our context. Okay. Now, this is also taken from a research paper. A key step of planning the stage is to pinpoint what the scientific focus of the review article will be. Now, you need to really look at that. If you really want to write articles, the first one is, do you have a personal motivation? Whether the author and the team is interested in writing a review. It is not about the guide who pushes, or it is not the students who would like to work and the guide is least interested. No, we need to have both. Personal motivation is very, very important. Then the second one is, what is the novelty of your work on the review? Let's say I would like to work on bioimaging. Wow, God, many people have already published a review in bioimaging. Then what you will be filling the gap? You need to know, and you need to be very careful or confident about this aspect. There has not been much work of compiling, so definitely it needs a review. So we would like to write about that. Can the author offer a new perspective to the existing one if there are already reviews available? Then the third one is journal relevance. Is the topic is relevant or the journal's target community? For example, if suppose now you are writing COVID-19 and its impact, people will be laughing at you because that time has gone. Many would have written about COVID and its impact. So that is there. The author expertise. Okay, I'm from chemistry. Oh, I'm just saying, oh, AI tools are very good. So can I write a review article in AI without knowing what is AI, without having any background of computer science or anything on machine learning and so on? I cannot venture into that because it needs expertise. Okay, because we should be able to write in an authoritative review. And the breadth, the chosen topic focus enough to be manageable but broad. We cannot say that, okay, I'm going to write a review on Indian dance that is there in a particular village near Trichy. No, because it's very small, very narrow. Or you can say that, okay, I'm going to talk about the 5,500 dances that are there in India. That is also not possible. You cannot go and collect information about the 5,500 dances and their history and so on. Then the pages will not hold for timeliness. Whether you have invested your time into that. If suppose you have not think about all these 6 aspects, better not to write review article. If you are very good at all these 6 one, please write a review. Okay. Now, I'm just having that folder with me, how my student wrote it. Right. So he said that July 1, he gave me a first draft, and then I'll show the draft. Okay. And what I comment, I said that this is a draft. This is a draft that. So the published title is different. And here the title that the first draft is different. You see? Okay. So my student, PhD student, wrote a review because I feel that the review is nothing but the introduction of his thesis. I said that I will not correct to the introduction. You write a review article, submit the review article, and then you adapt that as an introduction. So if you look at that, it's 35 pages. I can say that, and 10,000 words. Then he wrote like an article with the images and other thing he wrote. And then I said that, okay, fine, because there are 149 references, 35 page. Then I said that, no, review articles. Generally, we are writing articles that is coming up within 23 pages, 24 pages. It is slightly above that, but I am not confident enough. I gave some idea. No, this is not there. How many tables you inserted, how many figures you inserted, I'm not happy with that. Then the next one is like on 15th July, he came up with that. I'll share that also. Review. This is 15. Now you look at that, the title changed. Still, the title is different from the published one. And now if you look at that, the article is balloon to 82. It's bigger in size. Earlier it's 35. I said within 14 days he could grab and then collect materials. You see that. He has studied a lot of things and then he discussed with me. And I said you insert tables, figures. Look at that, some figures. I asked him to design. Then tables, look at a lot of figures, tables, and so on. So it's 82 pages. The next draft that I asked him, so I have corrected, and the next draft is July 25 with all the comments. Title again changed, closer to the one that I have it now in the third revision. Okay, so you see here, this time I added all kind of I beautify. Look at that, a flow chart has been introduced. Okay, so like that I said that I need a lot of flow charts because it helps readers to, okay, this image you remove. These are the comments that I gave. Okay, this is the other aspect you give table, and I have given all these things. And they said that, okay, you come up with this beautiful diagram. So introduce flow charts so that what do you really want? How do you classify, categorize, and all these things are there. And this is on July 25th. Okay, so he started the journey on July 1, July 15, July 21, July 25, and within 25 days is done. He submitted his article on 28th of July, and he submitted thesis on August 1st. And this is the first thesis in University of Madras where all the letters are published except the certificate page. All the letters are published. From the introduction, the entire 82 pages comprised into probably 45 pages or 50 pages, and that is turned into the introduction, and we published that. So I'm waiting for his viva, and when viva comes, I will proudly say that, yeah, all the letters in this thesis is published. Now look at the different types of reviews, and we have narrative reviews, systematic reviews, and meta-analysis. You really need to know if you are collecting large number of articles under one focus theme and categorize them and then write it as a narrative style. It's like narrative. Okay. The second one is the focused area can be identified. Within that, you can add your view and other things. There are other types also there, mini reviews, critical reviews, and so on. I'm just saying in general. And what is meta-analysis? Meta-analysis is nothing but when you have a large number of articles that are there, classify, focus, and generate numbers. For example, how many people have published papers with the title, with the word COVID-19 in pandemic? So I'm going to collect large number of papers. Only that my keyword is how many number of people, COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19, how many people have published in drug designing? How many people published in financial issues? How many of them published with sustainability? How many of them published with the political scenario? We can classify. So there are papers available, but we are generating the data. Then it's called meta-analysis. Okay. Now, whatever you do, you need to have the habit of projecting it in the form of images. Images play a vital role in pushing your review articles into the peer review stage and eventually getting into publication. So graphical abstracts, in general, we'll say that graphical abstract should be a single, concise, pictorial, and visual